Twitch is deleting all of your highlights and uploads in less than 2 months. Twitch has instituted a new policy to limit the number of hours of highlights and uploads you can have on your channel. This does not include VODs and clips, just to be clear. It affects highlights, so if you've ever made a highlight from a VOD or if you've ever uploaded something directly to Twitch, those are getting affected, and it's a pretty tight limit. Twitch's limit is now going to be 100 hours starting April 19th, 2025. Now, they claim that less than 0.5% of active streamers on Twitch are over the 100-hour storage limit today. If you see the reaction on social media, you would think it is 100% of streamers. We originally launched highlights to help streamers create highlight reels of their best moments to engage new viewers on Twitch. However, highlights haven't been very effective in driving discovery or engagement with viewers compared to features like clips, tags, and the mobile discovery feed. Despite low effectiveness, some users have accrued thousands of hours of highlights and uploads, often used to create highlights over time. The storage of this content is costly. Introducing this 100 storage hour limit, which impacts less than 0.5% of active channels on Twitch and accounts for less than 0.1% of hours watched, helps us manage resources more efficiently, maintain support of highlights and uploads, and continue to invest in new features and improvements to more effective viewer engagement tools like clips and the mobile feed. In terms of why Twitch is making this change, plain and simple, it's going to be the cost. It is the cost of storing all of this video, which, believe it or not, really adds up, especially when you allow the video to be played back at any time. Twitch is a live streaming platform. That is their bread and butter, and that is really what they're trying to double down and hone in on. They're not trying to be a video search engine, which is what YouTube is. They're just sitting on hundreds of thousands of hours of content that just sits there, and it's just costing them millions of dollars a month. We know that Twitch is still not profitable. Dan Clancy said this as recently as last year. And this is another unnecessary cost that Twitch has burdened themselves with that is providing no benefit to the platform. We want Twitch to be profitable, right? This is not the solution to profitability. They definitely still need to figure out different revenue streams, but this is a logical cost trimming decision, even though it is a painful one to many of you. What's more frustrating is that Twitch doesn't even provide a solution to the problem. Can I bulk download my highlights or uploads before deleting any content, right? That's what you'd want to be able to do. Unfortunately, it is not possible to bulk download highlights and uploads. You can only download or export content one at a time. While Twitch doesn't offer the ability to bulk download, some third-party tools are available that allow you to download your highlights and uploads with less manual work. We hope that by giving you 2 months notice, you and or your editors can take your time to manage your existing storage limit. 2 months is not a lot of time when you have thousands of hours of content. I posted this tweet asking creators what their highlight limit is at. The biggest one I saw, I don't think anyone has more than this. Crown goes to Overboard Gaming with 22,699 hours. 23,000 hours of content. What are you doing? If you go to your stream manager and you go to content and video producer, you will see this limit. First of all, it'll pop up and remind you and warn you about this new rule that's being enacted. And there's a handy little tracker to tell you how over the limit you are. Now, again, this is for highlights, so you're not going to want to filter by all videos. You're going to actually want to click on the highlight tab and then also the upload tab. And you'll be able to sort by when you created it, the length, and you can sort by the view count. So if you're looking for your longest videos to get under the limit, you're going to want to sort by length. And this is in the correct order that you would need. I have a 47-hour highlight. That will need to be dealt with. So this is how you can manage it and deal with it and delete things. Now, if you're looking to preserve your highlights, the solutions of dealing with this are free. They can be a little bit cumbersome if you are very much over the limit. You can only list 20 videos at a time. Thankfully, I do have a solution to that problem. Me and the Rivr team have been trying to figure out something we can do to tackle this exact problem to help preserve your VODs over the next 2 months and let you make highlights on them. This is written by Mark, one of the co-founders of Rivr. Here's what we're doing to help. If you're stuck above the storage limit, share a screenshot of your overage with us and we'll give you 2 months of automatic VOD analysis and storage in Rivr. No strings attached. At minimum, This ensures you can keep creating highlights from your new content while you figure out your archiving strategy. What is Rivr? Rivr helps creators instantly find the most engaging moments across all their streams. Instead of spending hours manually scrubbing through VODs, our platform analyzes your content and surfaces the highlights that will resonate most with your audience. Think of it as having a dedicated editor who watches every second of your stream and knows exactly which moments will make great clips. For existing users, we're expediting a feature that ensures your content remains accessible in Rivr even if Twitch removes it. We'll need time to figure out the long-term storage policy, but given today's news, we believe it's critical to make sure your content never just disappears. My DMs are open if you have questions, and we've created a guide on how to download your Twitch highlight. If you're a creator and you're affected by this, or you know someone who is dealing with this problem, feel free to send them our way, and our hope is that this not only helps them preserve their VODs and give them the ability to make highlights again, but also shows them that you can find good moments and clips through your streams as well, much easier than having to like rewatch your streams. You can join the Rivr Discord if you have any questions or you want to post your screenshot directly. Feel free to do that. The speedrunner community is livid about this change, and the reason for this that I learned is when people submit their runs, they have to submit it with evidence. And a lot of people do their runs on Twitch because it is live and, you know, it can't be manipulated. And so people highlight their runs, and that can sometimes be the world record for years. So this is a huge problem for the speedrunning community. Definitely like a complete oversight into how they're affected or how inactive channels are affected. What you may not realize about storing videos is when you make it accessible to be replayed, Twitch is not just storing a 1080p version of your stream. They're actually storing about 5 videos for each video that you have. So if I go to like a highlight here, I can watch at 1080p, 720p, 480p, 360p, and 160. That is 5 different resolutions, and each of those resolutions are stored as separate videos. So this 48-hour video at 1080p on the low end is about 144 gigabytes, but really it's more like 11, which is 500 gigabytes. That is half a terabyte for just hosting this one highlight that I have. This adds up pretty significantly. If you want to really figure out how much storage is being used here, we have 469 hours of video. And again, we'll go with the assumption of about 10 if you want to be on the conservative side. That is 4.6 terabytes that I am costing Twitch. It's interesting because I know way more about this than I used to, because now I work for a company that we actually tackle this problem. We store a lot of video. It's one of the most expensive storage types because the content is accessible at any time, as opposed to cold storage, which is going to be cheaper, but you can't access it. It takes days to access. I would guess it's S3 storage, typically used for frequently accessed data. It's 2 cents per gigabyte, 4,600 gigabytes times 0.021. That is almost $100 a month. Some people have significantly more of this. If you stream at a higher resolution than 1080p, then you have another X amount of gigabytes, 7 gigabytes added on per video hour that you're doing for your stream. There may also be backups for redundancy. I would not pay $100 a month just to keep my highlights. I totally understand it from a business perspective. It makes sense. And it does allow Twitch to like just focus on live streaming and clips. Like I'd rather us be able to like have more clips and have focus on those being more discoverable than I do about highlights doing anything. The truth is highlights are more personal than they are doing anything actually useful for you. You want highlights because it's a memory and it's like history. You want to preserve your content, and I totally understand that. Like I am grateful that I can go to my YouTube channel and look back at me and my very first stream. And I'm really grateful to have that. And I would look at that, but I'm not going to look at the random stream from 5 years ago, May, playing insert random game here that I played for like a single day. I think as like creators, maybe you're dealing with this problem and maybe you have thousands of hours of content. You know, really think about like why you're keeping this content and what you're doing with it. Are you repurposing it and turning it into clips? Have you already done that? Are you just like hoarding the content? Really assess like why you're keeping all these videos and maybe just try to pick the ones that matter. Most of the hours watched of a live stream happens while it's live and within the first 7 days. That is a statistic that Twitch has. I think it's 90%. When you're a live streaming site, people are looking for something that's live and you keep like giving them something that's not, that is not a good experience. I just think the execution of this is lacking. They could have offered a direct tool. They could have made it a little bit easier for streamers to deal with the problem. They could have given people more time. So maybe it's like, okay, you have to get under 1,000 the first month and 500 the second and 100 the third. Give people time to get under this limit and be able to deal with the problem. Now, the other issue with this that creators are dealing with is the fact that you actually can't make highlights while you're over the limit. This makes sense when the limit is in place, but it doesn't make sense in the 2 months where you have to deal with this problem and now you can't make highlights of your VODs for 2 months. Thankfully, I do have a solution to that problem. If you're trying to download your highlights, there's a couple of things that you can do. Now, the first thing that you can do is directly on Twitch, you can export to YouTube. It's in your, if you click on your little icon in the top corner and you go down to your account settings here, you're going to go to the connections tab and you'll see YouTube. You can connect your YouTube account. This will allow you to directly export any VOD or highlight to your YouTube channel. So once you have this connected, you're going to go back to your creator dashboard, I guess. Go to your video producer and go to highlights. And if you want something on YouTube, you can click this ellipsis and you can download highlights, by the way, directly on Twitch. You just can't mass download them, but you can also export to YouTube. Click the export button. You'll be able to set the visibility of the video. I highly recommend setting it on private. That's what it is on default. If you are going to make your highlights accessible on YouTube and public, I would really think about how you're going to roll that out and maybe do it in a way that's thoughtful and planned and maybe, you know, exciting rather than just like, hey, here's all my content, go watch it. Because again, if you don't have any viewers watching you live, you're not going to get any people watching you not live. There are limitations to exporting to YouTube. I don't think you can export past a certain amount of hours. I want to say it's 12, but I could be wrong there. There is a limit to like how big a video can be. And there's also a limit based on your YouTube account verification. YouTube is great because they will store your video for free until they decide to have their own limits. And I would keep that in mind. Just because YouTube lets you upload anything and as much as you want, and it doesn't cost you a dime, I would not count on that lasting forever. I hope that this is a warning and like a reminder that nothing on the internet is forever. You should preserve things on your own and not rely on social media and businesses that need to make money in order to store your video content for free without any gimmicks or hooks. What I would do instead is there are 2 avenues for keeping your content. You can do cloud storage, which will cost you either monthly or annually. Or you can do local storage. So you can download it to your computer or get an external hard drive. And that way you can keep that with you if your computer dies. And the great thing about a physical storage option is it's a one-time cost. You're not paying like monthly for that. If you're looking for a storage solution, my website Streamer Deals does track discounts on these things. If you want to click on the storage button, we have storage options that are discounted. There is a 16 terabyte external hard drive for under $300. It's 30% off, which you can see from other options is probably the winner here. So if you're looking for a discount on storage, you can check out deals.streamersquare.com. Now I'm going to talk about how to download them in bulk. There are, luckily, again, free tools to dealing with this problem. And actually, handily enough, Rivr posted a guide on how to deal with this. So there's 2 tools we're going to need. We need the Twitch downloader and we need Commander Root's Video Access Manager. So we go to Twitch Tools by Commander Root. Again, this is the Video Manager, VOD Manager tool. So under Channel Tools, we are going to log in via Twitch. You should be getting a pop-up asking you to authorize your account, but I've already done this before. And it's going to pull up all of your content. Now, we don't want to back up everything today. This will also back up all your VODs. We actually want to go to broadcast type and select highlights. And then you'll want to also do this again for uploads if you do have uploads. But we're going to select highlights and we're going to hit apply filters. This takes us to 766 videos. And then we're going to click export video URL list. This is going to give us a CSV of all of the videos that are highlights. So now we download the Twitch downloader. So if you go to the GitHub, the releases is what you're looking for. And we have a couple of options here. If you're a Windows user, you're going to want to download the Twitch downloader GUI, not the CLI, unless you know what CLI means and want to use it. I don't recommend it because it's more complicated. This is the easy way to do it. Now, if you are on Mac and Linux, unfortunately, you have to use a CLI tool, and I wish you good luck. There is a README for it. I think if you click on Twitch downloader, you go down here, there is a README and it will explain how to use the CLI tool. We're gonna download this tool. You extract the files. You're looking for the Twitch downloader application. That's this button. So we're gonna double click this. And here is the Twitch downloader tool. And then we're gonna go to task queue. We're going to click on URL list under mass downloads. And we're going to paste the list that we just procured of all of our VODs. So you can like select all, copy, and there you go. All 700 videos are here. Add to queue. Select a download folder, turn on download video, that's what you want. You can select your quality, and then you're gonna click add to queue. I would probably do this in like maybe like 50 or 100 increment chunks and see if that works first. Pretty straightforward. Again, these are all free tools, and I'll have links for them below the video.